Hi everyone, welcome to the IoT Hero Show. With me I have
Ursula Gruen,
Ursula. You are with
the SAP Asset Intelligence Network team, and I'm working there in the solution management side.
What is the Asset Intelligence Network?
Well, actually, that's a good question, and I think it's most easy to understand and describe with an analogy, and the analogy is the Facebook of machines.
And we have a demo of it here that we can see?
Yes, we have. We have a very nice Lego demo that should illustrate what it is doing.
Awesome, let's go for it.
Sure. So we have a scenario here where we have included three parties that are typically involved in dealing with industrial equipment. We have someone who is manufacturing it, the OEM, we have someone who's operating it, and we have someone who is doing service for it. And in this case, the scenario starts with the operator saying, actually, I need a new equipment. And so he can go over to his manufacturer and choose a new equipment. And as we are lucky, it's equipment that is already available as a model on SAP Asset Intelligence Network, meaning the OEM has already set up the model information in AIN.
Okay.
So when the the operator is now choosing a new equipment and is installing it at his site, he would be able to take via fingerprinting information from Asset Intelligence Network that is made available by the manufacturer and basically copy that to his own equipment.
Okay.
And that's what we have done now here.
So he's really getting a view on the information that the manufacturer has installed about this piece of machinery.
Absolutely. Typically machines are delivered with tons of paper and CDs, and legally some of that still has to be delivered, but the true version of that would also be kept here in the network so that we can make sure that we always have the latest and most up-to-date information, and we don't have to bother about finding it in our drawer somewhere.
Okay. And not everyone gets to see the information. By default, you have to have an agreement between the manufacturer and the OEM so that they can exchange the information.
Absolutely. You're right with that. If we stay with that analogy of Facebook, the typical thing there is everybody sees everything. Here we say no one sees nothing unless you define you are my trusted business partner. And in this case, we have set up this handshake, this agreement between them to share information. We have symbolized that with this little device. And now we see they are kind of like both linked. And this would allow then now the manufacturer to retrieve information about the usage of that equipment that is coming from sensor data, for example, to have that information available to improve the device, to set up new business scenarios like equipment as a service, because they would be able to see how many hours that machine has run, how many liters it has pumped. That kind of information could be shared between of them.
Okay, great. So we now have a service provider added to the network as well by this agreement, and he's saying that he knows that motor well from having worked with other people in the network, and that possibly the motor would work better, the turbine would work better with a new motor.
Yes, that's one of the scenarios that we see very often. Service providers have a very good overview on what is happening with specific equipment. And so he is recommending that, and our little operator says, okay, let's give it a try, I trust you, and is installing that. And what's happening now is that, again, this is sending, in the Facebook analogy, this is sending an status update information on Asset Intelligence Network. And we see now that this device has been added to our gas turbine that we have installed. And this is something that now also the manufacturer would be able to see. And having that information would allow them to make a decision on maybe it would be a good idea to add that up front, because 90% of our customers are installing that.
Great. And now what happens if something goes wrong?
Yeah, if someone stupid like me is coming and making something wrong, that information can also be shared on the Asset Intelligence Network. So the sensor data could be sent to the manufacturer, could be sent to the service provider, and according to the contracts that are set up, someone would have to react to it. In this case, it's the service provider that is doing the repair work and is coming here, and actually they are very fast and efficient, and they have done the repair in a flash of a second, and so the machine is running well again. And that status update would again be going back to exactly on the network, and would also be shared with the manufacturer. And based on the information that they can get, they would be able to improve service, improve parts of the machine. And the next time this the service provider is coming, and I have to put the truck back so that they can come again, they would also be able then to see what they have done before. So that will be kept in the record of that equipment in AIN, and can be shared between everybody who is part of that business network.
Cool. Ursula, that's been great. Thanks a million for demoing that to us today.
Very welcome.